Nestled off the coast of southern Chile lies the greater island of Chiloé, a place steeped in tradition. For many, the first thing that comes to mind when they hear about Chiloé is its charming stilt houses or delicious seafood dishes. However, if you live in Chile, whether you live in the northern, central, or southern areas, Chiloé is nothing but a synonym for horror tales. If you ever set foot on the island, you'd better watch your back. If even worse, you're thinking of going trekking and wandering off the trail, beware of the forest.
Chilean Spooky Tales.
Short in height, twisted in appearance, and wearing a cone-shaped hat, the Trauco is one of the most popular folk tales of the Chilean lore. I would say that almost every single elementary student in Chile has heard at least once their Spanish/language teacher tell the story of this tiny man. The Trauco is a dwarf-like creature that wanders the forests of Chiloé with a cane for support. It is said that if you ever cross paths with him, you may have one of two things happen to you. If you're a man, he will curse you with his eyes and try to cause you the same deformities his body has. But if the victim is a woman, the story is completely different. If the Trauco sees a woman, he will try to bewitch her using his irresistible charm and powers. The creature has a particular interest in young females. He will show up in their dreams as a charming gentleman. But after a while, these ladies will realize they are expecting a baby as a result of their encounter with him. The general consensus is that this story was created as a way to explain unwanted pregnancies. When people had no idea how they happened, they would blame it on him. Because it's not like many people can truly say that they've had an encounter with the Trauco, but it's definitely a very interesting story. And just the other day, I learned that the Trauco was initially a creature that would take care of forests and rivers. So there is definitely more to the story than what we're usually told. Hello.
Follow us for more spooky tales.
Okay, here's another legend, almost as popular as the Trauco. This one comes from the Mapuche community, and you might think it's just a story that your parents or grandparents would tell. But even nowadays, you can hear people saying that they've heard this animal. The chon chon, or tue tue, is a bird that gets its name from its song, tue tue. The legend has it that if you hear its song at night, you can either say, "Follow your way," or ask him to come by the next day for some salt. This bird, which in reality is a sorcerer, will show up at your doorstep the next day. Then you have to let him in, otherwise, bam, you're cursed. Everyone has their own version of the story, but what stands out the most is that when the sorcerer turns into a bird, two wings grow from his ears, and he flies away with only his head, leaving his body behind. Unlike the previous story, many people from all over Chile have heard or seen this creature. But an encounter doesn't always mean that he'll visit your house for some salt. If the bird stands on the roof of your house, it means bad luck or that someone's about to die. However, the mystery surrounding this creature has also had its downsides. In some places in Chile, there's an owl called concon, which has been mistaken for the tuetue, or in other words, for the sorcerer, because of its dark and piercing stare. If you want, you can look it up. It's spelled C-O-N, C-O-N. These are very beautiful owls, but of course, they have nothing to do with the sorcerer. Okay, everyone, that's all for now. Thanks for sticking with me. I'm your host, Michelle. I'm new in the world of podcasting, so bear with me. I'll be sharing more horror stories from Chile in the next episode, so stay tuned and see you next time. Bye bye.